Warning, this video contains strong language and offensive content. If you like those things, cool. But if you're a bitch ass nigga and you don't like those things, you might not like this video. But for the ones that do, enjoy this video.
This perp back with another video, and I just got done checking out Watchmen episode 2, and this is going to be my little brief review on the episode. And hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new and this is your first time finding me. You know, I got a lot of content on my channel, like over 600 videos, so if this is not your thing, maybe there's something else you're interested in on my channel. Definitely go check that out. But also follow me on Twitter at perpminded420. That's my new account. Definitely go follow me on there, because I post a lot of interesting things and stuff that I can't really post on YouTube. But anyways, let's get right into this review. I'll give you my final thoughts at the end. So it starts off, you know, we got this chick typing this thing out, and it's sort of like a flyer, and then it cuts to the scene of the character that we saw in the very first episode of this season. And you know, I like that they're tying everything together within this episode. You have Regina King's character meet up with the man in the wheelchair. You know, they're showing it from his perspective, and I really liked how they did this and how this was shot. She ends up pretty much taking him captive, leaves the body there, which I'll get back to later on into this review. So Angela is pretty much interrogating this dude, asking him who he is. He mentions Dr. Manhattan, and I really hope that Dr. Manhattan does pop up towards like the end or at some point in this series. But you know, she gets suited up and ready to go, and I like how they're transitioning through flashbacks, showing you the old man that's in the wheelchair, how he was when he was younger, how his father was, and you know, how they're just connecting everything together within this episode. I'm really digging it. I'm really loving it. So then we get this scene of Angela and Looking Glass having this conversation, and he's kind of getting into her head and trying to figure out what's going on with her. He's a very interesting character. I want to see some more of his character and what he's gonna bring to this show or this series, whatever you want to call it. So then they pull up to the crime scene where, you know, Angela didn't report the chief being dead, and this kind of shakes her up, and we get another flashback that kind of explains what they teased in the first episode about where she was telling all those kids how she got shot. And this was a really well shot scene. You know, it reminded me of like The Strangers a little bit. It gave me that vibes. But you know, Regina King at least killed one of those motherfuckers. That was crazy. She almost loses her life because she gets straight up blasted with that shit. And I'm wondering, I have a theory that I think Calvin might have saved her. They just didn't show that, which is interesting. So then it transitions to, you know, the chief talking to her as she's waking up out of like this, I think might be a coma or something like that. And he's pretty much kind of breaking down why they had to, you know, hide their identities and why they're wearing masks now, and you know, they have to put the chief to rest. And the scene ends with them zipping up the body bag, and it was kind of a touchy moment. But then things get really hectic, and you see Red Scar, I think that's what his name is. He just goes off and goes to this little trailer park and tells people like, you better fess up to this, you racist motherfuckers. And shit escalates even so quickly that Regina King goes off and snaps on somebody that tries to attack her. She kind of snaps out of it, and then it transitions to a beautiful, beautiful shot of Regina King. She is fucking gorgeous, and she's holding the mug that she took from the old man and taking it to this like ancestry kiosk, which is really interesting. And she's trying to figure out who this old man it really is. Meanwhile, she goes back to the house, and her and Calvin kind of have this back and forth, and I'm getting a weird vibe between these two. Like, I don't know what it is, but I have a feeling he saved her in some capacity or some form or fashion. I don't know. But let's skip that, but go to the weird kid, right? He's sitting there making shit levitate. I'm like, what the hell? This blew my mind. And this kept doing this throughout this episode. You know, every scene was really well done and just well put together. And this kid seems like he has a little bit of rage in him, a little bit of anger in him, as well as as I should say, Angela. Then we get one of my favorite scenes where we actually get to see one of the American Hero Stories episodes, and I like the disclaimer they give you. It's they call it the LGBTA plus whatever community and stuff, and that shit was wild. But you know, I like that. I even said I hope that American Horror Story delves into superpowers, because they already done the supernatural. Let's do some superhero shit. But anyways, go back to the episode. You know, Regina King, Angela is going to, you know, the person that is kind of pretty much her mother, as far as we know right now. And this is where things get really insane, is she's going there for a reason, because I already had a feeling that something weird was going on based off the first episode, because I asked myself, why does Regina King have white kids, and what is really going on here? But I think the chief's wife has something to do with this. Also, she kind of just seems like a nut. Something was off, and as soon as she goes looking around the house, you know, getting a feel of the house, and she puts these X-ray goggles on, and wow, and look at what she finds. She definitely doesn't find no super suit. She finds a Klansman outfit, and this is her reaction to this was damn near like I was feeling Regina King in this scene. I was like, damn, I was not expecting that. I knew the chief was hiding something, but I didn't know he was hiding this. But let's talk about the real weirdo of the show. This Jeremy Irons character, he's sitting there blowing people up and has these clones, and is kind of making a parody off of Dr. Manhattan, and he has this like fascination about him, and just a lot of weird stuff going on with his character, and just I can't put my I don't know what he's up to, but it's going to be interesting. So Regina, back to Angela going to see what's up with the old man, and come to find out that she's the granddaughter of this old man, and just this kind of blew my mind. I wasn't kind of expecting this. I thought he was just gonna be some random old dude, but it's actually her grandfather, and he's 105 years old, which is insane. They have this little touching moment where, you know, she's putting him into the car. She kind of doesn't believe it still, but you know, she knows it in her heart that, you know, something's up, and the weirdest shit happens. And out of nowhere, out of the sky, this like magnet thing comes up and takes the car and just goes off into the darkness. And the note that the old man was holding this whole time was the note that we've been seeing since the first episode. And I wonder how that's all going to play out. But that's pretty much how the episode ends. I really enjoyed this episode, I gotta say. And to all those people that just bashed this show and don't even talk about what's going on in the episode, don't know what they're talking about this is woke and this is... No, they're actually telling a really dope story here. And I like the twists and turns that they're showing. Like, you got Regina King's character going to probably learn more about her backstory and just where she comes from. And, you know, I have no idea what's going on with Jeremy Irons' character. You know, that's going to be a whole mystery, and I feel like that's going to start showing itself very soon. Will we see Dr. Manhattan? I don't think the 7th Cavalry is the real threat. I think they're just, you know, the distraction. What do you guys think about this episode as a whole? Let me know in the comments below. Hit that like button. Don't forget. And also check out my Power review. I got a review about Power episode 9, season 6. Go check that out. That's my latest video. But until the next video, I will see y'all later.